Well, hello to everybody on the internet and very welcome back to the things I do in EVO Online, guys. And we're gonna keep hunting for the Skybreaker. Hopefully I will do a good job of editing the videos and kinda put them in the right order and let you know what is happening and how the things went down. But I definitely changed the fit on the Corax, guys, and I did record this in a Moar when I was doing the shopping. But I botched the video, so here it is, you know. Hopefully you can... it's not gonna be a big problem. Now I spend a lot of money, as you can see. I spent quite a lot of money the other... yesterday when I was recording this. Technically, last night. And as you can see, I bought implants as well for the character. I think I bought it for my own money, if I'm not mistaken. I cannot see it now. Ah yeah, here it is. The small warhead solidification catalyst 2. I didn't notice, I didn't check how much money it is, but considering that we are getting a penalty hit, there is no point of going cheap on it. You know, because this rig is giving us another 5% DPS, and now with the Caldari Navy Mjolnir light missile we are sitting in 132.5 DPS, you know, with the Corax without overheat. And if we overheat, but I cannot do it, I have to simulate here to kind of be able to show it. If we overheat, we are at 155.9 with all of them kind of grouped together. Now I don't need to do this, I can do my old trick and keep one separated for the biocombinative cache, or yeah, biocombinative probably. So that's about it. Now if you think that you are happy, you know, with the Corax, and you think you're gonna be able to kind of put up and do the T0 Abyss with it for a while, then sure, you can kind of follow around and follow me and get the implants as well. As you can see, I have those two plugged in at the moment, you know, so they are giving me 3% rate of fire, or yeah, launcher rate of fire for the missiles, and snapshot is giving me 3% bonus to 3% bonus to damage of light missiles as well. So I don't know, you might go with 1% as well, but it's up to you. So now I think we stand a good chance to kind of get him down. This ship can be still improved, but again, the whole exercise is to kind of save these unallocated skill points. Because if you're happy with the income, now we are still having those 20,000 in the, how do you call it, 20 millions in red loot in the station, and I ran 2 rounds, but they were running Ventful, so no point of showing them. And we made another 2.3 millions here. Now I bought also an unit repair paste, because I hope you have watched the previous fight with the Skybreaker, and you have noticed that things got very hairy with the overheat. You know, I almost break my modules, and I had another room to fly. So if I broke my modules completely, that's it, it's game over. I don't think you can repair them from that point with Nanit. You have to repair them in how do you call it, in the station. But don't quote me on it. I don't use overheat very often, and the whole goal is to kind of have a feed that can do this consistently, you know, and easily. If you don't disconnect, then you shouldn't have a worry. And yes, the implants are a bit pricey, but still, you know, you can use them in other fits too. Now the only problem that I have, this is an alpha account, and my jump clone is all the way in Caldari space, so you can kind of maybe have your jump clone in the same station, and you can jump in and out without any penalties, without cooldown. I didn't mention that as well. If you need to use the jump clone for the Abyss, you can have more jump clones in the same station, and you can jump in between them without any penalties, you know, so you don't have to wait for the cooldown. But I think that's it, guys. I don't think that I'm missing anything. I think I covered everything for now, you know, and I hope things will work out. It should be far better, 32 DPS without overheat with the right missiles. It's much better than 150 DPS with the wrong missiles, you know, for him. Now I'll jump into it and hopefully it won't be long before we grab him. As you can see, I didn't form a fleet with myself, so I'll go do that. Sorry about the delay. And this is a good example of how you can get in trouble, guys. You know, as you can see, we have to fly through this short-range deviant automata suppressor, and it's gonna kill all of your rockets. I spent a few volleys shooting at the bio-combinative cache, but I didn't got him. So if you have this kind of situation, you will have to kind of move away from it. And you can press a point, you can hold Q and press a point in space and go over there, for example, and move away from the suppressor. And that will kind of let you kill the Skybreaker as well. This is one of the issues that you can run into the Skybreaker, and a speed cloud. Although the clouds are not really, as you can see, he's doing damage to us, but we are not doing to him. So what can I do? I have to move away. And there is another one probably. Yep. There is two of them and they're both in kinda in range, if you will. You know, you can end up in between the two of them and you can do nothing to him. We are still missing this guy. But as we go further away, we should be able to kinda start shooting at him. But be aware that you can reach the edge of the how do you call it, the edge of the arena, if you will, and fly off. If you are looking your ship this way, in the direction that you are flying, you will notice the wall of easier, and lowering your settings, let's say you optimize for performance, will make that shield, that boundary even more visible, you know. I'm gonna reload to the Mjolnir, just in case if we stumble on the... Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have done the both of them, but hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna spend a rocket to shoot this thing. Actually, two. Yep, my bad. What can you do? I should have reload after I take him. Well, guys, there he is. What can we do? I will put orbited current and go and try and get him this time around. If you do orbited current and there is no speed cloud, but there is there, so I might have to kind of reduce it. But let's see if we can start kind of poking on him before it's too late. There we go. He's coming in hot, so I'm gonna reduce that to 30 kilometers, for example. And we should run quite well. Now this is run 15 if I'm not mistaken, or something of that sort, maybe 16 runs without him, and I'll show you everything that I have run so far. And I think we're doing far better, as you can see. No overheating needed so far. He's gonna start to tank, you know, at some point, and he's closing in, so... But I think we got him this time. As he's closing in, we're gonna do a bit more DPS, if you will, or we're gonna hit him a bit faster. Yep, there you go. He is at 20 again, so smooth sailing. So be aware of the speed clouds when you put orbited current. At 56 kilometers we would have hit that speed cloud 100%, guys, and we would have gotten in trouble. So yep, he is gone. Finally, guys, the hunt for the Skybreaker. About between the two of them, about what, 30 runs in total, I would say. There used to be a tracker, you know, but I don't think it's in the game anymore. At least I shouldn't kind of switch my... Yeah, I should to kind of kill that maybe and save me a rocket. But there we go. That went smooth, far better than the last time, you know. And again, maybe I should have keep my distance last time as well, or try to keep a better distance, not to orbit at 20 kilometers straight out of the gate. But still, he had far more time to kind of deal with us, if you will, rather than this time. It was very straightforward. So maybe some of the things that I have done and put on this ship are an overkill for the T0, but now we definitely have a you know, a ship that can do this consistently. Another issue, don't forget the Deviant Suppressor Automatas, you know. If you have more of them and he's in between them, you will probably have to pull him out somehow, you know. The problem with the T0, there is no cans on the side, so there is nothing else to orbit apart from the gate and the can in the middle, guys. But yeah, that's about it. I think this is good enough, and hopefully I can edit everything as it came and happened, so we can you can kind of have a good idea how things went for me, you know, because you can do it even with the first suite, but again, it was a bit more dodgy, if you will, or hairy towards the end, you know. It was a bit scared. Now if you're happy with this, then you can simply, you don't need to kind of invest any more skill points to make this any better, you know. Today you can definitely keep training in peace and quiet and keep doing your abyssal runs for half an hour or an hour a day that you have to play the game, and it will probably, the income will be comparable to mining the Kernit fields at the very least, if not far better, you know. It all depends, you know. You can only count on the red loot, and I'm doing them, as you can see, in batches of 5 or 6. So this is I don't know, this is probably run 3 or 4 from this batch. 3 probably. I'm not counting everything, so I'm sitting about 7 millions in red loot already, you know. So not bad. That's like what, 15 minutes in total, 20 minutes maybe of your time. Technically I would say better than the Kernit fields, but let's say you want to have a quiet morning and while you're sipping your coffee you can still do the Kernit fields. You have them. You don't have to do them every day, you know. It's an option. If you... Oh, I didn't even change my rockets, as you can see. And it's important to kind of come into the abyss, you know, with your... prepare for your worst case scenario, because for every hull, if I'm not mistaken, there will be a counter, if you will. I think CCP brought the Abyssal Dead Space into the game, and then they collect data, and then they can introduce spawns. They are rare, but they can get you, you know, kind of thing. So technically they kind of put a spawn that is still, you can finish it, but it can kill you, you know, kind of thing. So be aware of that as well. You know, they might kind of make more changes down the road. But at one point, if I'm not mistaken, you were able to do T2 Abyss with a worm, you know. Even I think there is a worm fate that can actually still do it, if I'm not mistaken, but you have to double check. And yeah, because you're gonna get bigger spawns in the T2 Abyss, you know, like the marshals are showing up and so on and so forth. And I think the wave that was killing the worm was a double marshal spawn, you know, and it's a fully passive tank worm, so it's a nice ship to have, and it might be a great experience, you know, for down the road. We might give him a go as well. Let's dock into the station, guys, and I think this is about 30 runs easily. I did 5 the first day, then it took about 12-13 for the second try, and another probably 15 now, so over 30 runs, I would say, from top of my head. You know, I didn't really track them properly, you know. While I'm editing, I might try and kind of maybe take the total count and post it on the screen now, you know, while I'm talking about it. But let's check what we have in the station altogether. This is saying 13 millions, but of course we know that this estimate can be over or underestimating, you know, most usually overestimating than underestimating. But I can keep these guys around and then invert selection like that and drop all of this in here. Then I really need to find the filter, or recreate a filter, if you will. I think I can copy it and bring it over. So if I will exclude the BPCs because you can kind of sell them in the contracts. As you can see, this one has a good price. It's not for throwing away, you know what I mean, like. But it's up to you, you know. There is some with 1 million at this point, 1.72, you know. It's not bad, if you ask me, you know. Apparently the S blueprints are having some value, but we will exclude them. We're gonna kind of select all of this and exclude that A Rapture booster, and we are sitting at 58 millions or 38.6 millions in red loot alone. You know, if you are too diligent, you can kind of try and sell all of this, but personally I wouldn't sell my Tranquil, at least filaments, even the, you know, the Calm and then the Calm 2, you know, because you're gonna probably end up flying them if you want to. Now, of course, if you need the influx of cash, you know, you should sell them too, but I would rather not, because we have, look, 20 electrical, you know, it's, and if you go on the market, the spread here is a bit smaller. As you can see, they are more popular, you know, and if definitely, you know, but again, you know, if you sell to the buy orders, then you have to buy from the sell orders. Makes no sense. You can pause them to sell on the regular price if you decide that you're not gonna fly them 100%, but now we have a bunch of them and we can see if we can kinda keep playing with this Corax and fit him to do some other weather type, because the electrical will kinda induce a penalty to our EM shield resistance, and I think the agency will be a better way to look at them, to be honest. In all honesty, I think there were in encounters. Yep, Abyssal Dead Space, and oh, you cannot see them here. Oh, weather types and filaments, you have to press there. So as you can see, you can go market search, but yeah, bonus to capacitor recharge, penalty to EM resistance. And it's gonna go from 30 to 70, depends on the difficulty. So we barely have any resistance at the moment with the Corax. With the Multispectrum shield Hardener, it's at 27%, so it's, I don't know, and they're going to apply full damage because they can get us, you know, kind of thing. The only way to go about it is probably have a fit with MWD with a micro warp drive and then kite them again, or try to kite them, you know, because there is a good possibility that you will become stable in there because of the bonus of the weather. So yep, the next goal for me is to kind of go produce a bit more Scourge light rockets, and I'm gonna grab my little shuttle. I will go do that. And yeah, so you see guys, on average probably I earned 1.5 million in red loot from a site, you know, or 1 million, sorry, roughly 1 million, I would say 1.12, whatever it's going to come down to. But sometimes you get lucky with some of these drops and they worth a few ISK as well. So now if you can use this to kind of modify how do you call it, a micro warp drive, and unfortunately I don't have one here to show you, but as you can see they still have a nice price, so you might want to sell them, you might want to use them. This can also modify your Afterburner as well. As you can see, if you technically it's called mutation, and it's letting you know with which kind of Afterburners you can use it, and you can use it all the way with officers ones as well, no bother. But the attributes will swing, so getting all greens, it's a rare thing, you know, especially with the decayed ones, but if you have plenty of them you might get it, you know. It's not unheard of, so it kinda might improve your module. That's one way to kinda improve your performance in the Abyss as well. But what is this going for at the moment? Yeah, that's not bad. It's a 450,000 ISK, and there is only 2. But is there any demand for them? Not really, as you can see. you know, the biggest demand is for the, for how do you call it, for the micro warp drives, but again, when you don't have a concurration, they might be sold as well. You have the magnetic field stabilizer, you know, and they are having a nice price too. So again, we have some things that we would be able to sell, you know. There you go, another 3 millions maybe there if we sell, if that sells, another 5 millions there if it sells, you know, and so on and so forth. So yeah, these little guys can kind of fetch you another 10 millions or so. So I don't know, it's up to you guys, you decide what you want to do. But thanks for staying until the end of this episode as well. I hope you're gonna watch this whole thing through and through. And just for an example that yeah, just being able to fly a ship again, it's not really gonna make you win. It's still about understanding the basic concepts behind it, and once you wrap your head around it, you can kind of tweak, because it's easy. You go online and you grab a fit and you're gonna fly it, and you might not fare that well. And then on top of it, most of the guys who are doing this on day one will spend all of their, you know, skill points in one go, so they are able to do it. And still depends what ship they're going to choose. Again, thanks for staying until the end. Please like, comment and subscribe, guys. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.